Hello, my name is Jack Barrich, and this is Ocean Solutions, a podcast produced by Altasea at the Port of Los Angeles. Altasea is developing the most innovative ocean research campus in the world, a place where scientists, educators, and business people can work together on solving some of the world's most pressing problems, including climate change, energy supply, and global food security. On today's show is Ann Carpenter, the co-founder and CEO of Braid Theory. Located at Altasea, Braid Theory is a business accelerator that, among other things, specializes in ocean technologies that can help create a cleaner and healthier ocean. In addition, Ann was recently appointed by Los Angeles City Councilman Joe Buscaino to be the Chief Innovation Officer for the 15th District of Los Angeles. I hope you enjoy the show. You run a company called Braid Theory. What exactly does Braid Theory do, and what does it have to do with creating solutions for the ocean?
So we are a vertically integrated consulting firm. What does that mean? We do one-on-one consulting. We do events and programming. We have space, both a co-working space for digital tech companies, as well as our repurposed shipping container at Altasea. And we work specifically with heavy engineering and science-focused entrepreneurs. So where the crossover is with Altasea is blue tech companies, water and energy companies, aquaculture companies. These are all the types of companies that are squarely in our wheelhouse.
And so those companies are the types of companies that are creating solutions both for pulling things out of the ocean that can serve humanity, and also, and I know a lot of people who are interested in ocean conservation, the health of the ocean and the cleanliness of the ocean and all that. So talk about maybe some of the companies that you represent and what they actually do.
Okay, so a perfect example is a company that we're working with very closely around the marine and ocean environment. It's a company called eConcrete. This is a company out of Tel Aviv, Israel, that has an ecologically friendly concrete solution where 10% of the cement is replaced with their own proprietary mixture, which actually helps promote more marine growth in the concrete solution.
Where do they put this concrete?
All along the coast. It's seawalls, tide pools, break walls, anywhere you have a structural need for concrete in the ocean. Piles.
So if you have out here in our harbor here, if you have a breakwater that needs shoring up, they would would that be one way?
That would be one way. If you're building a coastal park and you want steps down to the ocean that also provides something for the visitors and creates a marine environment, this is perfect. If you want to have a seawall that needs to shore up an eroding coastline, these are all great examples.
So the old cement or traditional cement that they use, why was that problematic, and what problem is eConcrete solving?
So there's a number of things. One is concrete is not environmentally friendly. It leaches out chemicals into the ocean that typically are not friendly to marine life. Their proprietary mix, the pH balance is changed so that it's actually and so is the form itself of the concrete, so that the barnacles, the oysters can grow more readily on the concrete. It creates a crust, if you will, which keeps the concrete protected, more structurally sound, and then creates that marine ecosystem.
So where maybe in a previous place where it was concrete, where the ecosystem sort of was dying off, this one sort of reintroduces and creates a healthier ecosystem right there in those harbors?
Creates a healthy environment, and it also has found that because of the way the form structure is, that it creates a level playing field for native species to better populate the concrete. So they're finding a very large reduction in invasive species population as well.
Wow. So why do you think it's so important that business take the lead in creating solutions for a cleaner and healthier ocean? You know, you have public policy, you have nonprofits like Altasea, which actually does gather businesses together. But why businesses? Why do businesses have maybe a competitive advantage toward solving these things that people who are concerned about the ocean want to see getting done?
So we believe that advocacy as well as the businesses work hand in hand. Policy often drives actual real opportunity. When you have regulations, for example, that you have to do a cleanup, then entrepreneurs are the ones putting in the new solutions to solve that. And furthermore, by having them we work with entrepreneurs to focus them on creating a profitable business model. So that way you don't need to keep relying on government funding to keep the solution getting out into the marketplace. But if you can create a sustainable business model along with the sustainable technology, you have a win-win solution.
Right. So, and you use the government example, but nonprofit, same thing, where
Same thing.
if you're making a profit, you are going to be able to stay in business and continue to do your good work and not have to go out and fundraise every year to try and get this year's sort of amount of money needed to do whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be, as you mentioned earlier, the e-concrete example.
Exactly. The other thing that we do is we also work with companies that are not so directly, for example, on ocean cleanup, but we really look at companies upstream. So we work with companies that are doing things like industrial stormwater filtration systems and field testing kits, so that the pollution is not getting into the ocean in the first place.
So one of the other things that we talk about a lot here at Altasea is there are the solutions that can be put into effect that help, again, create a healthier and cleaner ocean. But there's also the ability to turn to the ocean for solutions that will help solve some of mankind's most pressing challenges. So it isn't just about the ocean saving us, it's not just about us saving the ocean, it's about the ocean saving us. So what do you think are some of the ways that we can do this? What are some of the solutions in the ocean that can help mankind and mankind's issues and challenges that we are facing now and will continue to face into the future?
Okay, so of course, Altasea is a cluster focused around aquaculture and sustainable aquaculture. That's a great example. There are great strides currently going on in the technology environment around ag tech and biotech and even transportation and goods movement, which are doing things like tracking and traceability so you know where your fishes come from, better methods to have sustainable populations in aquaculture, efficiencies in technology and underwater robotics to help support a more efficient and less impact aquaculture farm. All of these things are not only ways of using resources from the ocean, like aquaculture, but also doing it in a more sustainable fashion so that you're protecting for future. Even in wild-caught population, we're working with some companies that are helping the fishermen be more efficient. Things like being able to track gear so you don't have ghost gear problems. These are also, squarely in this sort of food, looking to the ocean as our future food.
Yeah, here in San Pedro, we were once the nation's capital for tuna, and for various reasons, including the fisheries sort of disappearing, that's no longer the case. And sort of, I guess, as we go forward, it's not just about turning to the ocean to find this new supply of food, but to do it in a sustainable way. I read a statistic by the year 2050, we are going to have to figure out how to produce 60% more food to feed the growing population of the planet. And the ocean will be a place where we're going to do that, but we're obviously going to have to do that in a sustainable way. Otherwise, we're in big, big trouble.
Sure, we're working with some great companies around, kelp, microalgae, different ways of even thinking about food.
One of the things when I think about these things is, it's beyond our scope. 90% of the ocean hasn't really even been explored. So there's things down there that can create, we may have the cure to cancer down there, we just don't know it yet. And I always think if you bet on human intelligence, that you will be able to cash in on that bet.
Sure, and data is always a big thing. Looking at not only doing things like mapping the ocean floor, bathymetric surveying, but you can also do all sorts of analysis. One company is that we're working with provides basically underwater weather channel, if you will. So again, this kind of very localized underwater weather information can also give us the tools, the data we need to, again, whether it is back in aquaculture or whether it's for fishing community or whether for its ocean exploration, all of this information, like you said, the more we know, the more we can find solutions and find ways to give solutions more sustainably.
We should make that our tagline. The more we know, the more we can come up with solutions.
The more you know, the more you know.
And on that note, we're going to say goodbye to Ann. Thank you for joining us today.
It was great to be here.
Thank you for listening to Ocean Solutions, produced by AltaSea at the Port of Los Angeles. To learn more about AltaSea, please visit altasea.org.